welcome back everyone to the brand new episode of the Code Drop. Today we're going to learn about the head tag and continue to delve in the basics of the HTML. The head tag basically contains the metadata of a website. So metadata means the data which is not displayed to the user but is required to render the web page by the browser. Metadata includes the style sheets you want to link at the website, the scripts you want to run, the title of the web page, and much more. So we're going to pick off from our last example and we're going to add a few of the constituents of head tag in it and see it in action. So let's get started. Now what we're going to do is we're going to open this window in Visual Studio Code. Now we can see that we've already added the title in the head tag. It's in constituent of it, and using the head tag we display the title in the title bar of the browser. So we're going to go live and see it happening in live. Now you can see that here example title is the title of the web page and displayed in the title bar. Now let's move on to the style tag. So style tag basically allows us to customize how the elements of our website look, how the elements of our web page are presented in the browser. Now let's edit how our paragraphs look. Now you can see that the paragraphs are left aligned and they take up 100% of the web page width. So how do we know that? Well, let's add a background first to the web page. Well, let's add a gray background. The hex code for it is BBB, and then save it. You can see that its background is changed to gray. Now let's add some width to our paragraph. We want the width to not exceed 50%. So we're going to set width to 50% and click on save. Now you can see that the width of the web paragraph is reduced. Now it only takes half of the web page, half of the screen. And at last, let's add one more attribute which is called text align. And we want to align the text in center of the paragraph. Not the center of the page, but in center of the paragraph. When we save it, you can see that the text inside the paragraph is now in center of the paragraph and not the center of the page. Now there's the style tag. You can add more elements, you can style any elements you want, you can actually make classes and IDs and you can style them too, but that's discussion for a different day. We're going to learn more about them in our CSS tutorials. For now, let's get started with the script tag. The script tag basically is used to run all the JavaScript content we want in our website. So JavaScript can be added in three ways. They can be inline script, they can be the file inside of these script tags, or they can be external links to JS files. For this example, we're just gonna add a function. We're gonna add a script inside of the script tag. So let's add a function first, and let's call it add functions. So what the idea is, we're going to make a function which adds two numbers. Now let's make a variable a and set its value to 10, and then add a variable b and set its value to 15. Now again we're going to add a variable sum which is going to store the values of a plus b. Now you need to print this value of sum in our web page, so we're going to use the document.write function. So using document.write function, whatever we write, it replaces all the content of the web page. So for example, if you're writing sum is and the value of the sum, then when we run the script, only sum is and the value of sum is going to be displayed on the web page, and everything else is going to be gone. So let's add a button on which when we click, it's going to run the script which is going to display the sum of the numbers. So let's add a button, and we're going to add an listener, event listener, which is on click, and we're going to call the add function because we want to display the sum. Okay, now the thing is that we're going to say click me to display sum. Now you can see the button, and when you click on it, okay, now you can see the sum is 25. Everything else is replaced, and now we've got the document.write function working. Its sum is and the value of sum. Now this is all about the strip tag. Let's move on to link tag. The main uses of link tag is adding style sheets to our web pages and also providing with an icon to our title. So let's start by adding a title. The first thing is link, and the first attribute is href, hypertext reference, and the file we're going to add is called title.png, and the relationship is an icon. So when we save it, you should see a change here. We still have this box icon here because we don't have a file name title.png in our folder. But when you run it with a file of that name, that file, that image is going to be displayed here instead of this box. Now the second use of the link tag. The link tag is also used to add external style sheets to our web page. So I'm going to add one of my UIs which I have developed over the years. It's called Fluent Design for Web. So the URL for the UI is steveensort.github.io/fluent design for web /fluent.css. Now we're going to add a relationship which is style sheet, and the type of the file which is text CSS. Now when we say, you can see that the look of the website has changed. Now the buttons are looking different, the links are different, the paragraphs are now more clearer, the crisper, because of added an external style sheet. Okay, then we're done with the link tag. Now coming to the main part, meta tag. So meta tag is used for various purposes. It can be used to add the character set, it can be used to set the viewport, it can be used to maybe even set keywords which is going to be used for search engines to search for the web page. So let's add a few of them. The first one will be meta tag, and the attribute is going to be the char set. The char set UTF-8 is the standard you should use because it contains all the Unicode for all the 1.4 million characters available on the internet. So UTF-8 is there we go. Now we're going to add a second meta tag. Well, let's add a description to our website. So the name of the meta tag will be description, and the description will be added in the content attribute, and let the content be an example description. Now when we add this tag, you can see that there's no change in the website, but we're adding a description to the web page which will be visible to the search engines. Now we're going to add in one more important meta tag which is called viewport. So name is going to be viewport, and the content is going to be width equals to initial width, and the initial scale is going to be 1.0. So if you want to develop a responsive website, adding a viewport is really important because it helps you to make the sites responsive. It resets the scale depending on the device. It sets the scale to 1.0 always. So these are the few things we can add using the meta tag. There are more things we can do using the meta tags. I might just give a link in the description box about those. I'm also going to link the Fluent Design for Web, which I've used here for the style sheet reference. And that's it for today, guys. Thumbs up if you liked it, subs if you loved it, and we've got our page on Instagram. You can follow it on the Code Drop. I'm gonna see you on the next episode of the Code Drop. Bye for now.